baby.
She on. Hi, baby. Listening to you sing.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Yes. I love that song. And we said we was gonna go in the studio so she can
Mm.
do it, and we have not gotten
You
to
should.
do that. No, we really should.
I'll open up my studio. Let me know when.
Okay. Cause I want
You
my
know,
baby to
man.
be able to.
Say the word. We track
Yeah.
it. We track it. And hook it up. And we can speak live.
Over me, over me. Lord, please help her. Cause I'm the head and not the tail.
She's trying to get me
I'm
singing.
above and
But
not
here's the thing. If I join in,
Linda, not the
before the song is
boy.
over, she will have stolen
I
the
can
song.
have you. Here you go with this mess. Can you?
I only speak truth.
No, you. That was mess. Cause I see. That's why I fell over.
But I followed down.
Cause you spoke truth. So hello, everybody. Rita, I was just talking about you because I was with you today. I was with my sweetheart today.
Where was you at?
My Marita Field.
That's who on the water ice had?
No, that ain't that kind of Rita. Look, if she did, she'd be a rich somebody.
She already rich somebody.
She really is.
I speak it, spoken. I said it.
She really, really, really is. Rich. She's rich and anointed, and absolutely love her.
So
That
can
is
sing.
my sweetheart.
So can sing.
She can sing. She's anointed, and she can preach too.
Word?
She knows the word. She's one of the few, and I say young people, because she's younger than me, but she's one of the few young people that know the word of God.
Come through, preacher.
She knows the word of God.
Come through, preacher.
So that's my honey. I love her.
Sister Keisha, we crooked on the gram.
We crooked on the
And I
ground.
try not to live my life as such. Gracias. Gracias. How y'all doing? Live at 5.
Yes.
What's good? We good in the hood?
So today, of course, I can't even spell right now. So remember, guys, I had been talking about before. We talked about. I'm gonna get them on here. Where's my Facebook on here so we can see everybody? We were talking about in the past. We talked about the seasons and when seasons change and how to maintain in the season that you are in, and
How to maintain
the season that you are in.
how to maintain the same disposition in
How to
the
make right. And so today, and I always tell my brother, I'm always gonna give way to him. Love you, miss you too.
Who we said shouting out? Who here?
So who's
Everybody,
here?
everybody.
They got my other key. That's
Sister
my
Fields,
key.
Elder Debbie, what's good?
Hey, Elder.
Love you.
Hey, Vera.
Sister Vera,
You can't see.
she got me on the blind side. It's all good.
Hey, Hattie.
Hey, Sister Hattie.
Hey, Mo.
Sister Hattie. How you doing, Sister Hattie? Hit me up. What how you doing? Hey, Sister Mo. Yo, my brother, Pastor Jeffrey Goodson. What's good, bro?
Hi, Pastor Goodson.
What's good
I
with
had
your
to
brother?
see Pastor Goodson in.
So the Pastor Goodson you know is his brother.
Oh, his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my man, Pastor Goodson. Pastor Jeffrey Goodson is the reason I hooked up with his
Really?
brother. Yeah, it was,
Yeah, I haven't seen him in.
Yeah, me and Jeffrey was boys, and he brought me through to the church he was at the time before he started pastoring.
Hi, Bishop,
Hey, Bishop
Foster.
Foster.
God bless you. Hey, Geraldine. God bless you.
Yeah, so that's my man. Oh, thank you, sis. So that's my man.
Hey,
Yo,
Kevin.
what's up, Kevin? Pastor, how are you, man?
So,
Still boys. That's right, still boys. I thought about you the other day, my brother, when everybody was going on about these Sixers and hyping it all up. Hey, Day.
hey,
Hey,
hey.
Day. Them is my baby's godmama.
Blessings to
Yeah.
you too, Kev.
Pastor Jeff, we gotta connect, man. I thought about you. Everybody was hyping up these Sixers, and I said, boy, I know one solid diehard Sixer fan.
No, I'm a diehard Sixers fan. I love the Sixers. Even when people are talking about them all the time, I love them. I do.
Okay.
And although my
I
son
know some people
clowns
who
me,
love the idea of the Sixers.
no, I love the Sixers. Love the Sixers. I know my son clowns me all the time, with the Sixers because he's like, Mom, just give it up. But I don't want to give it up. I'm looking for them I'm looking for them to have a sunny disposition
And
in a winter season.
listen, Pastor Jeff just said yes. That's him, Jimmy Butler. When my wife called me, what's up, Pastor Al?
Hey, Pastor Al, I was about to call you doctor.
What's up, Dr. Al? My wife called me and said, the team got Jimmy Butler. I said, Jimmy Butler, that's the dude who used to sing that song then I said, oh wait, that's Jerry Butler.
You know what?
So that's how much, I'm into it.
Hey,
But
Naima.
I thought it was Jerry
I'm laughing
Butler.
at you. All right, so
I forget hockey is a sport.
you know they have African Americans.
I
playing
forget all
hockey?
about it. Every time somebody say something about hockey, I'm like, oh yeah,
That's
hockey.
So we talked about this whole seasonal thing and dealing how to maintain in the season that you're in.
Yeah.
And so
And how to maintain the consistency of contentment
wow,
throughout the seasons.
consistency of contentment.
Contentment throughout the season. So it's interesting. I always hear Christians and I always hear people talk about the different seasons and going into the season. And it's interesting. I was sharing with Pastor Dana how, so in my field as a psychotherapist, as a psychologist, when you see the actual seasons change, there is a noted change in people's disposition. Clients come in and present, and people who battle with depression really battle hard with it in the winter because the sun's not out as much. It's a little dreary. It gets dark quick. It gets cold. And so a lot of these things have to kind of kick you into survival mode. You're no longer go out and feel the sun on your face the same way, and the air is different. The trees have all gone into hibernation, so you don't smell. You don't have the same smells and all. And it's interesting because one of the things that I try to work on with people is maintaining that feel of summer in the winter. And being able to maintain the same measurements that you've enjoyed in the summer, that you can enjoy them in the winter, based on perspective and how you pursue things, how you perceive things. And we thought it was great to talk about that because it translates into your spiritual life, it translates to your practical life, translates to your emotional life. Even we were laughing about working out. And I told her, my sister's out there on that real life walkway, in the mornings, and I said, listen, I gotta be a gym dude because it's gonna get cold. And the second it get cold, I need to be inside. I'll still work out, I'll still walk and do all that good stuff, but I'm certainly not gonna do it.
Outside.
Yeah, under 50.
You know
I'm
what
not gonna do it.
I think too, you said something real powerful. This is what I heard, that, for you, that doesn't work.
Right.
But for me,
Yes.
it works.
Go get it.
Right, you know what I mean? I want to be able to be out there. Because I thought to myself, even this morning, so I didn't work out. I didn't walk this morning. One, because I wasn't feeling good. And thank you to those who have been praying for me. Just this ongoing headache that I've had for the past 3 days. But thank you that even right now, it's not there. So thank you. I thank God for that healing power. But I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I got to get a raincoat because when it rains, I still want to go outside and walk.
Galoshes.
I have my rain shoes
And galoshes.
and my galoshes, so I have rain shoes.
Right.
But I don't have the ones that come up. So, you know, even then I'm thinking, you know, I'm thinking ahead. And so even for the snow, I have my boots. I bought a really nice pair of Uggs that come all the way up. You know, so I'm thinking because I want to, and believe it or not, walking in the snow gives you a little bit more, you know, you exert a little bit more energy, it's a little bit more exercise. So I'm looking forward to that.
And I guess what I heard you just say. No.
Right.
and yes, Pastor Jeffrey said everybody's contentment varies. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. What it means to be content for one person may not be the same what it means for another.
Hey Ty, I love you.
But there's still that opportunity to understand where your contentment is, you know, as an individual, and how to maintain that contentment through difficult times, through dark times. And here's the funny thing too, because this speaks to other personalities, how to maintain that contentment through great times. How not become manic and go overboard.
Wow.
All of a sudden the sun is shining and it's like, okay, I'm just going wild out. I'm quitting my job. I won't be outside all day.
Yeah.
So that's important too. And I was saying what I heard you saying was something that clicked in my mind was being able to also understand the things that you need as seasons change.
Yes, because Pastor Al just told me to buy Colombian workout gear. It's light and weatherproof.
There you go.
All right,
There you go.
right.
There you go.
But because I'm gonna need.
Right.
That's good.
So
That's
it
hard.
caused me to question, like, if we're doing the things and gaining the tools that we need to maintain our contentment in the coming season, you know, in the coming times. What do you do to maintain your contentment when the kids just go bananas? You know, when your spouse goes bananas, when the boss goes off, you know. Hey, Tina Young, what do you do in those moments when things derail?
Hey T.
How do you maintain, you know, and what tools do you take in? What tools do you learn? You know, one of the things we talk about a lot is how you measure success. How do you measure your success? And how do you respond to failure?
We had that conversation the other week about failure.
Right.
I openly shared, and I do that often so that my brother can, you know, help me. And I think I say this all the time. What?
I know what you was about to say.
What I'm gonna say?
That they sitting in on your session.
Right. Y'all was sitting in on my session last week. But I think too that, you know, this forum is not just about Live at 5 with Pastor Dana, Takeaway Tuesdays with Dr. Will and Pastor Dana. This is about the kingdom. This is about everybody getting some nuggets, some help to take away so that you can apply certain things to your life. So it makes this journey a little bit easier, you know. One of the things I wanted to ask you, because I had my session last week, and I wrote it down, that I think sometimes it depends on too what we view our summer as, which you just alluded to. You know, what does summer look like?
Right.
And how do we view it? Not only how do we view it, but, you know, in the summertime. So in the summertime, I always get this sense of wonder. You know what I mean? As if, like you going to Disney World. I always get that sense of wonder. You know, in the wintertime, not that I don't have the sense of wonder, but I get that it's over now and I got to shift to something else.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I am maintaining.
Right.
You know
or
what I
if
mean?
you're allowing the shifts in the seasons
That's why I love you.
to cause you to shift.
That's why I love you.
You know, and that's what I'm saying. I think we want to try to stay away from. You know, that we don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be cliche here, but we don't want to be blown and moved and tossed with every wind, right, that comes along. And the seasons will change and the struggles will happen. And speaking in real time, like people will go through a very difficult moments in life.
Right.
There are things that will just trigger it that are inescapable.
Yeah.
Someone's going to pass away that you're close to. Something that you love and care about is going to fail. You'll fail at something that you tried that means a lot to you, right? And it's important to be able, when those moments come, how do you then guide your rudder? How do you steer your ship? Come over here for the brand.
Right.
How do you steer your ship in a way that allows you to maintain consistency, right? Because ultimately your consistency and your contentment will inform how you perform, right? So if you start to mark what is my summer, as you said, what is that time, what is that place, what is that moment, what's that life look like when I am full of wonder, full of expectation, right? When I am content, and I'm using this word content a lot, folks, to keep us from having happiness be a benchmark to obtain. Because happiness is as fleeting as sadness.
Yeah.
Right? So you won't be sad always, and so you won't be happy always. These have to be polar opposites of the spectrum, and in the middle you start to find contentment where you can exist and perform at a good level that keeps you productive, it keeps you on track, keeps you moving forward.
Right. So let me just go back. For those of you who are just coming on, we're talking about how do we maintain a sunny disposition in the wintertime. How do you maintain a sunny disposition in the wintertime? All right, so that's what we're talking about. And then I just, kind of asked Dr. Will.
Good stuff, Pastor Al.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Good stuff.
What does your summertime or your summer look like?
Yeah.
What
does your summer look like? And it'd be interesting if you guys can chime in. What does that time in your life look like when you start to feel carefree? You start to feel like, okay, I can accomplish, I can achieve. There's room for growth in front of me. Right? So it's not necessarily I'm on top of the world and I'm at the pinnacle, right? Because you'll feel that'll start to slow back down.
Right.
But that time in your life when you feel most hopeful, that time in your life when you feel that you're going to have, you have the opportunity to move forward, to advance, and then how do you start to quantify what that moment is? Because understand hope is both the presence of expectation, right, mixed in with the possibility of failure.
I hear you, Renita. I hear you, honey. I hear
what
you.
Renita said. Oh, good.
I hear you.
Our failures have to be real and they have to be in front of us.
Right.
Right? Because we said before, they're the building blocks of success, right? There is no success without failure, right? You try it, it fails, you learn, you grow, you do it again. Something else fails, you learn, you keep growing. Someone says, I pray a lot. Oh, Sister Geraldine, hey sis. The depression can slip up on you. Absolutely. And for people who battle with depression, it becomes about where are my measurements, right? How do I see where I'm at right now based on when I was content, right? And a lot of depression is about that loss of sight of hope. Right? Where am I now? What's achievable? What's obtainable? This is a good takeaway, maybe our first takeaway for people who are battling depression, right? Is create your benchmarks. Create your benchmarks. Then we learn to govern things by that benchmark. So again, if I'm saying if hope looks like, and sometimes I offer people the true perspective, and this is found in the consistency of the Bible, right? that there is hope simply in tomorrow. Simply in the fact that there's tomorrow. There's hope, right? Because there's another opportunity.
Right.
Reset another
Right.
24. You know, some of my prayers often would be in the morning, just Lord, thank you for another chance to get it right.
Yeah. I said,
Try harder.
I said
Yeah,
that
it's
to
24.
myself
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah.
Yesterday, I'm not gonna cry today.
You're not gonna cry.
No, because I feel it.
Weeping may endure for a night.
But joy
Comes
in the morning.
Right. There's hope in, you know, if you see the lilies of the field, how they do not toil, how they do not work to be beautiful and to exist, right? To just exist, right? How much more, if God cares for them, how much more does he care about you, right? So this is some scriptural background that says that at the deepest, darkest parts of our lives, our measurement has to become, wait a second, I am loved, I am cared for, and there is going to be tomorrow. Okay?
I am loved,
I'm cared for,
cared for.
and it's going to, hey baby.
Hey Lynn.
Wait, I was talking to her first.
There is going.
It's going to be tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
It's going to be tomorrow.
I'm loved. I'm cared for.
Right.
And there is going to be tomorrow.
Right. Now, what's the difference between loved and cared for? Right. This is where. Hey, baby, she waved at me. This is where some kingdom work kicks in. Right. Pastor Al's gonna like this one.
Yeah.
This because I know he a kingdom dude.
Yes.
This is where some kingdom work kicks in. There's a difference between being loved and being cared for. Because you can love somebody and not care for them.
Yeah, you can.
And you can care for somebody and not love them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's
Yeah.
very possible. The combination of the two offers others hope. So for those of you who know people who are struggling with hope and struggling with depression and struggling with it, you can combine love and care and help them to overcome depression, help them to overcome the benchmarks that they can't see right now.
Right.
Right? That the benchmark that should say, I am loved, I'm cared for, and there's tomorrow. There's gonna be another opportunity. That's the benchmark.
I'm loved, I'm cared for,
and there's gonna be
there's
tomorrow.
going to be a tomorrow.
And that's something we can share in the kingdom to start to tell people in earnest, you know, I love you, and now I'm gonna exhibit that love by caring for you. Right? And then we'll do this again tomorrow.
Wow.
We'll do this again tomorrow. So I'm gonna follow up. I'm gonna check in. We're gonna have what we used to call. Y'all ready? Write this word down. We used to call this relationship. We're gonna have a relationship with you that earnestly shows that I care about you, that I love you, I care about you, and that the next day is gonna be the same. I'm gonna look in. I'm gonna check in with you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna care for you.
Right. Rita said, my saying is, good morning, weeping may endure for a but
Right.
joy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It may. It
may.
don't even have to. But it may.
Right.
It may. I like
I
it.
love it.
Pastor Al says, remember morning. Morning don't mean daylight. Just a new day. Yes. Side note. I love the winter. The air is, yes. I love the winter. The air is fresher. And you can always bundle up. But when it's hot, it's hot. Yes. I go to the water all year long. To me, the evidence of the Almighty. Yes, man. Yeah. So I love the water too. I don't love winter, but I like it when it's like 60. You know, between 60 and 80. Honestly, between 60 and 90, I'm kind of cool. I'm all right with it. You know, after 90 is ridiculous.
Right.
You know, that wasn't my perspective before I started doing a lot of work in Texas, a lot of work out in Phoenix, going out there a lot. And then I came to understand what heat and hotness is. My new benchmark was to not go to Texas and not go to, matter of fact, I just got offered to go to Texas, go back down to Galveston for a conference for work that I did last year. And I told him I can't do it.
Because it's too hot.
Benchmarks. Not to catch on fire.
Wow.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
I think a lot of times we don't set any benchmarks for ourselves. I think
Yeah.
that's probably where a lot of our letdown comes.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Where we don't maintain
Yeah,
the way that we should maintain.
right,
You know,
right.
I would say, benchmark goal.
Mhm.
You know, we don't. There used to be a time in life that we would set some goals and had a plan
Mhm.
to reach them.
Right,
You know,
Right.
we don't do that anymore.
right. And it's interesting, I wonder how many of us have emotional benchmarks in our lives? How many of us
Wow.
have spiritual benchmarks in our
Emotional
lives?
benchmarks.
And spiritual benchmarks.
Give me an example of an emotional
An
benchmark.
emotional benchmark is, you say it all the time, I'm
I
not gonna
do.
cry today.
Woo!
That's an emotional benchmark. I'm not gonna
Wow.
cry today.
I've cried my last tear.
Yeah, I don't know how real that is. That's a song,
Right.
right? But this is how you qualify. This is how you qualify your measurements.
Mhm.
Okay? If you say to yourself, I'm not gonna cry today, right? That may not be, necessarily obtainable. But if you're saying it and encouraging yourself emotionally, I'm not gonna cry today, from a sense of empowerment, not from a sense of shame. Right? There's no shame in emoting, as long as it's healthy. If you are expressing how you feel internally and it causes you to emote, to be emotional and laugh, cry, whatever that thing is, that's healthy.
Right.
Okay, as long as it doesn't overtake your normal activities. Like the second it overtakes your normal activities, like to say I can't get myself up and out to work because I'm sitting on my bed crying, right? Then that's not healthy. You need some help with that, right? Get some help with that. And it's the same with any behaviors and any emotional responses like that. Some people can't stop laughing, right? And it becomes a nervous tick. It becomes a unhealthy response, right? But if you have those benchmarks to say, I'm not going to cry today, and say you've noted for yourself in your personal journal, Monday I cried 7 times thinking about blah, 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 right? But Friday I cried 5 times. There's growth.
Yes.
There's hope.
Yes.
Now if you say I cried 7 times Monday, I cried 9 times Friday, maybe it's time to get some help. Seek out somebody that will show you love and concern and help you understand a perspective about the newness of tomorrow.
I love that. I love that. I do. I think that is the essence of God, our Father. That He shows love,
Absolutely.
that He cares, and He assures us
Yes.
that there is hope for tomorrow.
Somebody get her a chair. She's about to preach.
Whatever, no, I'm not.
Share
But that is the essence.
Yes. Absolutely.
Of Him.
Absolutely. It's really the points of salvation. Because I
Wow.
love you, I gave to you. I cared. That's me caring. The physical action of caring.
Right.
I gave to you to ensure your tomorrow. I don't just
How
make
much?
stuff up.
No, I know you don't. And I know this is, I know. How much though, honestly, how much do we really exemplify this?
Right. Love.
How much
Yeah.
do we really exemplify
Yeah.
that?
That's hard because, we poll people right now, right? So guys, start chatting, start jumping in, right? Define love. What is love without being cliche?
Hey, Dr. Eunice,
Okay,
my
so-
sister.
So the first person, Dr. Eunice, hey.
Hey, Iola.
Hey, Iola.
Hey,
Hey,
Kim.
Kim. I said it first. Same time.
Rhonda.
So throw out here, what is love, guys? What is love? Define love without being a cliche. Without pulling out your Hallmark card. Without answering God is love. Because that's it's kind of a what's up, Pastor Craig, my man, just in time. We
Hey,
define
Pastor
love,
Craig.
man. We define love. Like define love in a way that's not cliche, but it's true to your experience. Right? Because if we start to have a true conversation about what love is, it opens the door and allows me then to to know what your expression of love is,
Mhm.
know how you experience love, and be able to cater to that. You know what I mean? And be able to love you in a way like that. So it's interesting because it's not something that we say. A deep emotion. Thank you, baby. Hey, baby.
That
Uh,
connects.
I
Come on.
I got lost in the eye of the shade
You
in
know
front of me.
what? Can you?
Oh, sorry. A deep emotion that connects one to another. Okay.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. Oh, I needed this. Oh, hey, Sister Mo.
Hey, Mo.
Yeah. Lenise says love is a deep emotion that connects one to another. Right. And that's great. That's brilliant. Right. So for her, love is about connection.
Mm-hmm.
You
How
know.
was it? Yeah.
So the person that shows her love, she's gonna be most edified by that if they find a way to show her love in a way that brings connection,
Right.
in a way that they, you know what I mean,
Right.
that brings connection. You know, and that it could be, you know, different levels of connection.
Right.
You know, but it's important that we understand that. It's important that you understand that about others that you want to love.
Come on, y'all. What is love? What is love to you? What does love mean?
And this is a hard question because it
Yeah.
also is a valuation of what it takes to be loved.
So I'll say what I think. I believe that love is understanding.
Okay.
I believe that it's understanding. I think
Okay.
it goes beyond me just like I know something about you,
Mm-hmm.
but I understand.
Mm-hmm.
How can I say? What I know about you.
I just told you it's not really as simple as
Right.
one would think. Pastor Al said, "Love is accepting a person who she or he is, and not judging them, no matter
Yeah.
what the circumstance." You can't be like you took care.
No, but
Whatever
I
the
get that.
circumstance, and showing them with your actions and not just your mouth. Good.
Right, but it's an understanding, regardless of,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, whatever the challenge is, I understand, and I'm not gonna allow that to dictate how
Mhm.
much I love you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
It does. It does. Elder Debbie says love is when you deeply care for someone. It's unconditional. Sister Mo said love to me is unconditional, and she said agape. So then love is respectful. Good. That was Sister Tina. Love is respectful. So it's good
No,
that we
that
start
was
to.
Renita.
Oh, Renita. I'm sorry. Love is respectful. It's good that we're getting into understanding the attributes that come along with it. Love is freedom to be who you are. Okay, I like that. I like that. It's good we're understanding these attributes that come along with it because it will both prepare ourselves in the great times and the dark times, right? To understand what we require to be loved. And to help us to understand what others require to be loved, right? So a lot of times we don't allow ourselves to be loved. Like take, for example, love is respectful, right? Love is unconditional, love is not judgmental, love is freedom, right? So if we put ourselves in a place of bondage, if we put ourselves emotionally, ourselves in a place of bondage,
Right.
where I do not allow you to connect with me, I do not allow you to experience freedom in a relationship with me,
Right.
right? It's me not allowing you to love me. You know, and that's important for the person, especially for the people who battle with depression, right? To understand those things that when you have your requirement down, you have your benchmarks together about what love you require,
Right.
that you can open yourself up. That it's important you open yourself up to receive those requirements.
Love is giving without the expectation
Expectation of return.
of a
Hey,
return.
Taisha.
Hey, Ty. Wow, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Good, important in there. Love expresses itself in action. What we feel is reflected in what we do. It has the power to change lives. Yes.
Hey, Tim.
So see again, we're expressing where we are with love, and then we can express. So if this is our internal understanding of love, how much of this self-evaluation time, how much of this do we give out? If love is respect, how much respect do you give other people? If love is connectivity, how much connectivity do you offer other people?
That
If love is freedom, how much freedom do you allow? If it's really no judgment, how much are you?
love is reciprocal.
Sometimes.
It should be reciprocal.
It could be reciprocal.
It could be
It
reciprocal.
could be.
So in normal circumstances, it is not.
I'm saying it might be, it might not be.
But shouldn't it be?
I don't know.
No, I think it should be.
Right? Maybe.
No, seriously, Dr. Will.
So
I
I'm
think
saying,
it
so
should be.
so here's from a spiritual standpoint, right? This is gonna be a fantastic argument.
Yes, it
Right.
is.
It's a relational word. Yes. Yes. Here's a fantastic argument, right? God loves us without reciprocation.
Yeah. But shouldn't we
Is
reciprocate?
reciprocation a word, somebody?
If you just made it up, so it don't matter.
I bet it's a word.
So shouldn't we
In the
reciprocate?
We should, but do we? Do we? Do we love everybody that loves us?
No,
Everyone we love, do they love us back?
no.
No.
But
Does that
shouldn't-
lessen?
No,
Should it change how you love?
no. Maybe.
No, I think not. I mean, so here's a spiritual charge.
But how
We're
do you-
charged to love people who don't love us.
I was getting ready to say, how then are we then, I'll say Jesus in the earth realm? How then are we exemplifying these attributes?
It's difficult without love. Listen,
This is for real self-evaluation.
Part of the reality is a lot of us don't love ourselves. So we don't even reciprocate. We can love others and don't love us.
That's part of the reason why we don't maintain
Mhm.
in the winter season.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you're doing those measurements about, do I allow myself freedom to be who I am? Do I allow myself a non-judgment in my own life and my decisions? Do I allow myself room to make mistakes and have failures? Do I allow myself the opportunity to respect who I am, in the world? Am I loving myself? Am I loving me? Well, the love of other people are directional. Okay? It could be, Brother Tim, Pastor Al, because the truth is wow. Oh, well, I was going to say that. Pastor Tim, you should have kept going, man. It's all good. He said it twice. Then we'll have it written down. Jeanette Connor says, we all have different expressions of love. So maybe that's why it's not reciprocal. So maybe. It's also a issue that the truth is when my love meets your love, there needs to be an understanding there.
That's why I said love is
Yeah, there
understanding.
needs to be an understanding there, and reciprocal love is so love is such a deep emotion that love, as you guys know, kind of mirrors hate, right? They're
Yeah.
polar situations, right? Love and hate. Everybody knows they kind of sit on opposite ends of the spectrum. But when you have something like that, they often they assume the same traits.
Wow.
So the same level of passion that somebody brings to love
Mm-hmm.
is the same level of passion someone brings to hate. The same blind love is the same blind hate. Those same experiences, right? And so if you learn to be able to control what I would call the manic expression of love, right?
Okay.
Then you can love in a way that becomes more consistent. Some people love and have to be loved. Some people love and have to super emote, right? I know people who are like, oh, I love you, and just got to put their hands on you all the time. I'm like, whoa. Sometimes people be just, you're doing too much, right? You're doing too much. Am I allowed to say that?
Mm-hmm.
Right, but it's the truth, right? Sometimes you're like, you're doing too much, ease back. I love you
Yeah.
too. I love you too. Wait. Right? Right? And see that manic expression of love becomes actually a little more telling of
Oh,
a sense
something
of
coming in, it's fine.
a sense of control for the person. The same way hate is
Yeah,
a sense of
I'm
control.
thinking about somebody
for the person.
that I dated, and it was like that.
Who? Give me the name.
No. But you're right about that. You're right about
Yeah.
that.
So control. Self-control. Self-control in your seasons. Self-control in your season. Here's two.
Self-control.
Here's takeaway two. Maintain self-control as your seasons change.
Wow.
Right? So again, and this goes back,
Maintain
self-control
self-control
as your seasons change.
as your seasons.
Dr. Keisha, can you maintain
Change.
self-control, please? Thank you.
Maintain
Self-control.
self-control as your seasons change.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think now I might hurt somebody's feelings. I don't think people really know what self-control is.
Yeah, so, and maybe we dig into it a little bit, because it's important to gain perspective about what it means to self-control. Self-control means specifically like the things, so it's two different versions of it that we can cover. The first is the things that you do when you're only accountable to yourself. Two, right? The two is the things that you do that are not swayed by your environment. Right? So those are two things that help you build your own ethical sense of what self-control is, right? So self-control means if I'm by myself and I'm on my own personal track to get my health together, my physical health and lose weight and live a healthier lifestyle, and I'm by myself and there's cake to be had. Self-control becomes about I'm accountable to me now. You know what I mean? My workout partner's not here, my trainer's not here yelling at me. You know what I mean? I don't have to be encouraged by them. I can now attach myself to my own desire, attach myself to my own mandate, my own benchmark, and then practice the self-control to be accountable in the absence of everybody else. Be accountable to myself.
Is that discipline?
That's self-control. Discipline is the act of gaining self-control. Move yourself to a place of self-control. So discipline becomes the practice of doing those things, right? You'll discipline yourself not to eat the cake, right? Over and over time. You'll work to do those things. You'll practice to do those things. Then that disciplining will bring about self-control, right? That's a self-control when you're only accountable to you, right? Self-control that maintains your belief, your stance, your measurement in a changing environment, which is important to this seasonal shift, becomes about your own, again, discipline, good,
Right.
so good practice measures,
Right.
so you're consistently doing the things, but then also about having an understanding of whatever it is means to you. You cannot, this is gonna be takeaway 3, we'll come back to it. This gotta be takeaway 3.
Okay. You cannot
undervalue yourself. Because if you do, every environment will change you.
Oh, wait. You cannot undervalue yourself. Because if you do, every
environment will change you. And I'm being cautious of the way that I say that, because I don't want to say you can't overvalue yourself, because you can. Right? And you got to be careful to not think more of yourself
then you are.
than you ought.
Come on, that's the word.
Right? But
Don't
again,
think highly.
somebody get a chair. She about to preach.
I don't always preach.
Jesus,
I do not.
she always preach.
I do not.
And we're better for it. We're better for it. But you cannot get yourself in a place where you undervalue yourself. When you understand who you are, when you understand your place, then that thing you must be able to hold on to that in a way that you walk into the room and you are comfortable being you, regardless of who's in that room.
Wow. Say it.
right? You can be comfortable who you are, regardless of who's in the room.
Wow.
I always have an interesting
Tim said,
thing.
yes, sir.
I always have an interesting thing. So if you see me in the street during the day, you'll see me in the pulpit like that on Sunday.
Mm.
I rock Adidas no matter what. I got my sneaks on, I got jeans on, I got a shirt on. And I got confronted a couple times as I went out to preach and went out to speak or teach or whatever it is, I've been confronted often by people kind of saying, what's up? Like, I know you've been doing what you do for a minute, right? So I'm coming up 20 years. And then look at me like, what happened? Is this you giving up? Then I tell them, I said, honestly, I dress for the people that I want to talk to.
Whoa.
I dress for the people I want to address. Debbie said, well, let's take away one.
Oh, takeaway one was create your benchmark.
Create your benchmarks. Love,
care. I love
it when she tries to read her own handwriting.
Don't judge me.
Create your own benchmarks, right? Of how you love and how you care for people, how you show that love, so how you care for people. There was a third part to it. What was it?
Love, care, and there is going to be tomorrow.
She literally writes all the way up the page, right? So those three attributes: love, care, and know that there will be tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was designed around the kind of hope. Create your benchmark, right? And find that hope in your benchmark, right? Your benchmark should be hope. And hope is wrapped up in love, care, and knowing there'll be a tomorrow. Both believing that for yourself and being able to share that with other people. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Takeaway two.
Takeaway two was maintain self-control as your seasons change.
Yes. Maintain self-control as your seasons change. And in your handwriting too. Maintain self-control in your handwriting. And we talk about maintaining self-control, right? And being able to internalize your own value, right? To understand who you are and to be comfortable, to find that comfort in who you are. And sometimes that takes time. Some people look at themselves and they see all kinds of things. They can see their past. They can see the things that they've done. Some people look at themselves and all they can see are their failures, right? And if you don't know to embrace your failures.
I don't think, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead. If you don't know to embrace your failures, go ahead.
What happened?
No, because when you were saying that some people look at themselves, when they look at themselves, they look at the failures, they look at,
yes.
All the things. I'm raising my hand because that was me not too long ago.
Yeah. And it's okay if you see your failures, guys, if you focus on your failures, start to focus and point out the things that you've learned from it. And hold on to that. Embrace it. Write it down somewhere so you say the next time, I won't do that.
Right.
You're in a maze of life and you this is trial and error. So if you go left and hit a wall, I know it can be frustrating, but now write down, okay, first left, there's a wall. Don't go there.
So I don't think sometimes, and this is not y'all, but we know people, we don't take the time to, if I failed at something, we don't sit down and then analyze and say, wait a minute. So I made that left, and when I made that left, there was a wall.
Yeah.
So if I need to make the right, like we don't sit down to do that because
we don't do three.
Because
you cannot undervalue yourself.
Undervalue yourself.
Understanding your failure in the course of finding hope is about also understanding your value.
Don't undervalue yourself.
Right.
I think I did.
So when you take the time to understand your failures, to understand the shortcomings, it's because you're valuing the journey.
Wow.
Right. So if you've experienced a relationship where that turned abusive,
right,
you have to be able to understand, stop and evaluate, understand what went on, so that the next relationship can be healthier.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, you find yourself making the same mistakes because you'll just keep walking the same path you walked before. right? Most humans are creatures of habit. We will do the things that we do, right?
Right.
We'll do the things we do, and we'll keep doing the things we do. Rather than understanding the thing I just did that brought me pain, I have to be able to understand what part of that brought me pain, what my role was, what their role was, what the environmental role was, right? And then change those things so that the next time things will be different. Because I value my experience, I value myself, I want that hope, and I value the other person in the relationship. I'm gonna love, care, and look out for their tomorrow as well, right? So we're gonna understand what happened so that we can learn from that glorified failure.
Wow.
Failure is okay, guys. It's all right.
I keep telling myself.
It's all right.
I
That's
keep
how you
telling
learn.
myself.
That's how you learn.
I tell myself that quite often, that it's okay. But I also say to myself that I learned from that. I'm gonna put some things in place now that won't happen again. So the next go round, you know, I'm gonna do things differently,
Yeah.
which is a whole nother thing because
Right.
because it does. It involves us to now do, because what's the saying? When you know better,
Do better.
you do better.
Yes, when you know better, do better. We should talk one day about getting up.
Oh, Dr. Will, you
Getting up.
just,
It's easy to get knocked down. We talk about getting up.
how do you get up?
Getting up. That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother.
Bless you, Brother Tim.
Thank you, Brother Tim.
Pastor Dana is the bomb, y'all.
No.
That's why I come through.
So you guys got the all three takeaways. I'm gonna look at my handwriting. Don't judge me. My brother is something
I
else.
wish y'all could see the handwriting. So she starts off writing across the page, and then it goes up.
Because
it'll go up along the side of the page.
Cause he talks so fast, and I'm trying to get it
So
because I don't want to miss.
when y'all see her reading it, she'd be like this. Because literally it's like going across the page and then up. Am I telling the in-studio secrets?
That's fine.
It's going up the page. It's amazing to watch. That's what sometimes I'm going to be looking like.
So takeaway 1 was create your benchmark. Love
Of hope.
of
Hope be that benchmark. Right?
Create your benchmark of hope.
Right.
I love, I care, and there is a tomorrow.
There is a tomorrow.
There is a tomorrow.
Pastor Will said, give Dr. Will my info, please.
Yes, I will pass that
Right on,
out.
Pastor. I'll take that as a threat. Welcome to challenge. No. Right on, brother. I love to connect with you, man.
Takeaway 2 was maintain self-control, as your seasons change.
Maintain self-control as your seasons change. And listen, for some of us, that just means rudimentary. Start working on self-control now. In some aspect of your life.
Right.
And remember that is being resolute to be accountable to yourself when no one else is around.
Gigi.
And to be able to maintain who that person is, regardless of your environment.
Wow. Something just came to mind, but I'll talk about that. And then takeaway 3 was you can't undervalue yourself.
Yes.
You cannot undervalue yourself.
As in, don't allow yourself to undervalue yourself.
What did Tim say?
You can't become what we need to be by remaining what we are. Self-awareness is powerful. Yes, it's very
That's
powerful.
good. That's
very
good.
powerful.
That's good.
That's good stuff.
Yes. So the next time Dr. Will comes on, we're going to talk about
How to get up.
how to get up. Dr. Will, you might need a whole 2 sessions for that. I'm serious. How to get up. Seriously, because most people, they don't. They stay there and they get comfortable and they think it's all right for me to operate from this place.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right if I can use this. It's all right for me to operate from the basement because I fell in the basement. So I'm not going to get up. Knowing that there is a first floor, there is a second floor, there's a third floor, and there's also a rooftop.
And in other places, there's a 4th floor.
And there is a 4th floor.
Sometimes a 9th floor.
I was trying to stick with the 3 floors and the rooftop.
I wasn't aware. My floors are endless.
Wow. That speaks of growth. That speaks of growth.
Yeah, I would
That
never
speaks
cap
of
myself at 3
unlimiting
floors.
yourself.
Right.
Ah, I like
Ain't
it.
nobody ever told you only got 3 floors but you.
Dr. Will,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's important to find that freedom, guys. What you give life to, you must restate it. Okay, I like that. I like that. I'm a big proponent for affirmations.
Yeah.
Huge.
I'm about to-
I lived the better part of the growing session of my spiritual life, doing affirmations.
I'm about to put my brother on the spot right now. Here we go. Give us an affirmation that we could take away going off.
So one of my personal affirmations, and this comes with my understanding
I
of who
can't
I
write
am.
fast enough.
This is simple. It comes with the understanding of who I am in God's eyes and who I am in the kingdom, right? So one of my self affirmations is, there is no boundary.
There is no boundary.
There is no boundary.
What do you?
I've been blessed, and hear
Dr.
me now.
Will,
This is
come
not
on.
a point of being braggadocious. This is reality. I've never failed at something I set out to do. And I'm talking about failed in the ultimate sense of the word, right? I've had failures along the way to the success. But success has always been imminent. Because I understand as a child of God that I am boundless. There are no boundaries. And I've never put boundaries on myself. I've never looked at myself and said, I'm too black, I'm too short, I'm too poor, I come from a bad background. Never. I don't accept boundaries because I understand that there are no boundaries. My faith in motion is about God's devotion. If I was a preacher, somebody would say amen.
Amen.
My faith in motion is about God's devotion. So I understand the faith that carries me forward is my understanding of God's devotion to the way that I respond to Him. So I have no boundaries.
Wow.
So I could tell myself every day, there are no limits.
You know what? All right, so we were talking about our children earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to me, if I could use that
You
word.
shouldn't, but
Okay,
yeah, I understand.
all right, so it is,
Bewildering.
it's bewildering to me, new word, I'm learning. It's bewildering to me that, whenever anybody tries to limit my children,
Right.
Case in point,
Right.
the coach that said that my son will never be a
Right.
D1 player.
Right.
Try to limit, and I know, that my son is
Mm-hmm.
a D1 player.
Mm-hmm.
My challenge is I'm going to speak to who he is,
Mm-hmm.
to what he is. But you know what the challenge coming back is? I don't always do that for myself.
Right. I was gonna say that.
And on that note, because
we
we're
gotta
not
understand.
in my session no
And we
more.
gotta understand, I'll talk about my affirmation. Other people will put limits on me and they always have. And that's okay because those are their limits. That's their limits. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
No limits, no boundaries.
Yeah, ain't got nothing to do
I
with me.
see increase
Their limits have nothing to do with me.
all around us.
Yeah,
I got it.
nothing at all.
All right, y'all. We gotta go because Dr. Will gotta go.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. I will see you tomorrow right here on Live at 5. Listen, next Tuesday, it's on and popping. How do we get up?
Both on and popping.
It's on and popping. Love y'all. Peace.